Nobody wants to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
Are you totally inept when equipped with nothing more than a pen and paper? Fear no more, today's video will remedy all of your problems. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today's tutorial is going to be focused on lines, how to practice them, how to do them. We're not going to make today's tutorial any more difficult than what it needs to be. And after I share my top tips for outlining, you'll be on your way to outlining like a pro in no time. And this applies to all art forms, so no matter what art form you do, this tutorial is going to help you. So without wasting any time at all, let's hop right into it. So a couple practices you can do is practice doing a straight line using your fingers, like that. You can practice doing a straight line using your wrist. As you'll see, we'll give you a longer line. You can practice with your elbow, and then your shoulder. And you're not going to get it perfect every single time. The purpose here is to make sure you have control over the line as much as possible. In art, you really want to get used to using all four of these. That way you have total control over any line you can possibly have to make. You don't want to go super ridiculous fast, but the faster you go, the easier it is to control the line. Because if you go slower, you'll notice we start to get little inconsistencies in our line, and our line becomes more jagged over time. So you have less control over it the slower you go. One thing you want to avoid doing is something called petting your line. And I'll go ahead and use a ballpoint pen to show this, but when we go ahead and we try to draw a circle, you'll see I begin to draw the same line over and over again, kind of like teasing the line a little bit. You want to try to just have one smooth motion and then fix that when need be. Another trick that really helps is if you come towards yourself instead of moving away from your body. You'll notice if we go away from the body, we can still get a good line, but it becomes a little bit harder to control the further out we get from our body. Although, I'm not gonna lie, these lines turned out a little bit cleaner than the other ones. Another great practice you can do to learn how to draw lines is go dot to dot. And what that looks like is you draw two dots on your page anywhere, like so. And then you have to go from one to the other in one smooth motion. If we draw, say, another, let's try to get a curve in here to one to the other. And you can do them close together. That way you can practice with your wrist or your finger. You can do them really far apart. And we'll do two over here. That way we have to go ahead and come in like so, and we'll add a little loop-de-loop for fun, and then over here, which I actually missed this one, but it was pretty close. So dot to dot is definitely a good method to get used to doing more curved lines as well as doing long straight lines. And something I find very helpful to do periodically throughout your artistic career, and mind you, this is something you want to come back to again and again and again. You're never too good to do this, but create like a little box and then just try to shade it with cross-hatching. You can vary the hatches as you go. You can even leave a gap if you want to go ahead and add some variety. So now we can come in another direction. I'm gonna get really tight in this area right here, and then we're gonna come in from this direction. Practice some basic shapes, you know, draw a circle and then outline it, or just try drawing circles with your pen like that. Draw squares using your different joints, and I'll do this last one using my elbow. You know, try using your shoulder to draw different shapes as well. These are all really good practices to help you get more comfortable with lines. And if you apply these practices we just talked about to all of those different joints, you'll be outlining like a pro in no time at all. Another technique that I see commonly used in comic books, and once again, you can use this for any art form at all, is they will use line thickness as a way to show depth. So things closer to the viewer will have a bolder, thicker outline, as for things farther away from the viewer will have thinner, less pronounced outlines. You can do this in, like I said, comic books, anime, manga, graffiti. You can do it in all of visual art that requires you to outline. But it doesn't have to just be used for depth. You can also just do it just because you like the line variation. This can help in order to spice up the image a little bit, help it look a little bit more unique, and help it look a little bit more stylized. But you don't want to go too crazy with it, and you have to understand that things that are outlined more boldly will grab more attention. So aside from depth, if you have the face of your character outlined slightly bolder than the rest of your image, people will look at the face more so than anything else. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, be sure to hit me with that like. It helps this channel out a bunch. Helps to get the community together in order to make the community a little bit larger. Also, let me know what else you'd like to learn in the comments down below. I have a tutorial series coming out soon, so be sure to keep an eye on that, because maybe one of the things you want to learn will be in that series. And if you're watching this after that series comes out, I'll be sure to link it somewhere so like that you can go ahead and watch it. For those of you guys who are new, here we come out with weekly art videos. Typically, these are informative graffiti videos, and if you enjoy more fine art stuff, feel free to follow me over on Twitch. I got a link in the description. And of course, obviously, like every YouTuber ever, I gotta ask you to hit that notification bell. It helps out a ton because YouTube is horrible at letting people know when a video comes out. As always, I'll see you beautiful people next time, but until then, peace.